was for her it may be muktzah since she's not obligated in the mitzvah. So that was a very interesting middle ground of where muktzah for her, not muktzah for husband. Turns out whenever a mitzvah, an item is used for mitzvah, you're not allowed to handle the item afterwards. So a shayfer, when you don't have a shayfer, you got to put it away. Can you bring it home? There's a big shayla if you're allowed to bring a shayfer home. Maybe you're gonna blow for somebody else. The biggest case is where you have a mila knife. A mila knife is a big case. What do you do as soon as you've done the mila?
Ambulance after you save someone's life.
Oh, so you're right. You're right.
No,
but a mila knife, you're right. But a mila knife, you're not. In the ambulance, they drive home with the people. You might need it again. But a mila knife, you don't. That's the biggest shayla. You may have to put it down right away. You can even go put it away somewhere else. But a lulav, Rabbi Yisai, a lulav, as we discussed in the.
Always in Shabbos, once you have a head to pick up something, you can put it down wherever you want.
Oh, so once you put it down,
it's a kli, that's
once
mutter.
Once we're down, yeah. But once you're holding it, exactly.
It's
It's a gemara, yeah. But yeah. So, but a lulav, even on the tzad that a lulav, we spoke out the gemaras last week that a lulav they used to walk around with a lulav the whole day. They put it down because a lulav will not become muktzah. Because a lulav, every time you pick it up, you're extending the mitzvah. A lulav is an extension of the mitzvah. So it happens to be a lulav is not even when you put it down. If you pick it up and you walk around carrying
you're continuing doing another mitzvah.
Yes. Because
so
every time you pick it up,
I mean, the question that we said that once you pick it up.
Because you fulfill the mitzvah. You're right. So you don't. Meaning it's not the mitzvah in what you call the fulfilling the mitzvah, but you're extending the mitzvah. So you don't have a heter else getting you off the hook for that avera. But you're kind of like extending the mitzvah, something like to that extent.
Abel Yatza by Chayev?
Abel Yatza, but if you're ready to fulfill your mitzvah, you have to fulfill your mitzvah. Now carrying it, they used to carry it the whole time. We're extending the mitzvah. Okay, says the Gemara. Tan Rabbanan. Tan Rabbanan. Katan hayadei l'naneya. A katan that knows how to. We're going to discuss different things of chinuch here now. Katan hayadei l'naneya. A katan that knows how to wave. Chayev b'lulav. Kama. A katan that knows how to wave. Chayev b'lulav. He's chayev in lulav. Kama. Lis'atif. If he knows how to wrap himself with tzitzis. Chayev b'tzitzis. He's now chayev in tzitzis. Yeah, the way they some people wrap even the talis cotton. Oh, I think he's referring to a talis cotton even.
Oh, because chayev, you said yesterday is out kind.
Yes, right.
That's like the father's chayev in his cotton.
Right. Because a cotton is not chayev mitzvah, so this would be he has once he gets a chinuch, then he has certain obligations now. You're right. Lishmar tefillin. Lishmar tefillin means what? Lishmar tefillin. If I say lishmar tefillin, what does lishmar tefillin mean? Lishmar tefillin doesn't just mean watching the tefillin. It means watching the tefillin. You can write on the side, staying clean. You know, if a kid does not know how to stay clean, lishmar tefillin, he knows how to watch his tefillin to stay clean. Then Aviv loikech lo tefillin. His father should get him tefillin. We don't do this now. Aviv loikech lo tefillin.
This is before a mitzvah. We already said we're also rugel and avera and.
Yedei ledaber. The child knows how to speak. Aviv melamdoi Torah. His father should teach him Torah. The child knows how to talk. The father should teach Torah. Vikri Shema. And the father should teach him Torah and Kriya Shema. Torah Mahi. What is meant by Torah? Now, what's the Gemara asking? The Gemara, why is the Gemara even asking Torah Mahi? What do you mean? We don't know what Torah is? The answer is, if a child knows how to talk, obviously he's not going to be mechuyev to learn the whole Torah. What part of Torah are we supposed to teach him now? Says the Gemara, Torah Mahi, Omer Rav Amnuna, Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe, Moirasha Kihilas Yaakov. That pasuk is Torah. Exactly. That pasuk is Torah. Now it is brought down. This is brought down in Allah. When a child knows how to talk, the father should teach him Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe Moirasha Kihilas Yaakov. That's the first thing a child should learn how to say, because it's based off the Gemara over here.
No, specifically.
What?
No.
B'nai. Well, yeah. My father's a tzal. Every time he held one of the grandchildren, he would sing this. He would sing this pasuk to them, even though they weren't up to talking. But he was getting in early there. But he's sing this pasuk. Teretz Sivalano Moshe, Moshe Kilas Yaakov. Try to teach your son. Teretz Sivalano Moshe. Not yet. Your son is supposed to your daughter. He's saying.
Why can't you teach your daughter?
Yeah.
Krishma.
Saying a child.
Krishma Mahi. Krishma Mahi. What is Krishma? Where says pasuk Rishon? Teach him Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Period. Haidei Lishmar Gufay. Someone if he knows how to keep his body clean.
A child.
A child, yeah. Once a katan who knows how to keep his body clean. Dash Eichlin Al Gufay Tarois. You can eat tarois. Tarois are food that are kept. Yeah, certain foods of the basic Mikdash, truma and so on. You can eat it even though it touches body. So Eichlin Al Gufay Tarois. You can eat tar food that touches body.
What's the will kids can't eat because they can't eat truma?
No, the question is if he touched it, you have to be concerned that maybe he imparted tumah to it. He's not someone that knows how to stay away from tumah.
Play with shratzim.
Right, exactly. It's a day lishmar gufa. Someone who knows how to watch his body from touching things like you said. Then eichlin al gufay taros. You can eat tar food that touches his body. Klar? Eichlin al gufay taros. Eat tar food that touches body. Okay. Lishmar is yadav. There happens to be a higher level of now. The Rabbanan made a certain type of tumah on your hands. It's not what you call the high level, such a high level of tumah, but they made it an even a higher level of tumah that's only applies to your hands. Now, being it's only the Rabbanan in nature, you washing your hands would already get rid of it, and therefore it used to be a thing that people that were ate b'tahara, they would wash their hands before they ever ate, because the hands, if you were distracted and you weren't mindful of what your hands were touching, automatically it gets a certain type of tumah. That's a high level that Rabbanan added, and if you want to eat in this state of tahara,
that was the Yaki's wash before Kiddush.
So that's a different.
That's the OCD.
The lishmar as yadav. So if a child, look at this Rabbi Sai. So lishmar is yadav. If a child knows how to watch his hands, meaning he knows how to be mindful of what he's touching, he's aware. Oichlin al yadav taros. You can eat taros that touch his hands.
So the person's body is like in his hair.
Exactly. It's just a higher level of tahara that the child has. Okay, Haidea Lishmar again. Haidea Lishmar is Yadav. If he knows how to watch his hands, Eichlin al Yadav Tares. He can go ahead and eat tar food that touched his hands.
I just told him to call you.
You were so excited to walk in.
The poison ivy man himself.
I waited 5 minutes for you. I was waiting at the Chinese to the call.
Be contagious?
They're really going near you?
Please. Go there.
Guys like you were in for this.
Okay, you ready?
This is what we brought for the Siyam?
We're not finishing today.
I thought you were bringing the food, Mo.
I thought you're sponsored.
Haidea Lishal, you ready?
Too many medical bills.
You ready? By say so again. Lishmar is Yadav. If he knows how to wash his hands, watch his hands, that keep them clean. Eichlin al Yadav taros. You can eat taros that touched his hands. Now 3 lines on the bottom. Haidei Lishal. If he knows how to answer, Lishal means he responds to the question. Haidei Lishal. If he knows how to respond to the question. Now what we're discussing over here is that he knows how to answer whether or not he touched something. Let's say he was walking and he may have touched a sheretz. Is he someone that knows how to answer? Can we trust his answering if he touched something? If he didn't touch something? Haidei Lishal. If he knows how to respond, then you have to make a dash. This is the halacha. Once he gets to this level of being able to respond, there's a rule. It goes like this. There's a rule in Hilchas Tumah, Rishus HaYachid. If a question came up, Rishus HaYachid, Sveikei Tamei. Something in doubt is Tamei. I'll explain what that means. Sveikei Tamei. Again, Haidei Lishal. If he knows how to respond to the question, meaning if you ask him, did you touch this? Not. Then there's a halacha. Rishus HaYachid. if it was just yachid sveikai, there's something questionable. Tamei, it's tamei. Now, I just want to say something. It sounds vague.
Why?
It sounds vague. These are all learned from Sukkim. You hear this, Mo? These are all learned from Sukkim. Sveikai means if something questionable came up, tamei. It's tamei. We learn from Sukkim that once he's able to answer,
What do you mean something questionable?
which means, let's say they asked him, did you walk by something and did you touch that on your way here? He touched food. But did you touch that sheretz on your way here that was along the path that you're walking? He says, I'm not sure. Then we have this halacha. Sveikai, and b'shus hayachid, these are b'shus hayachid, sveikai tamei.
What's the difference?
What?
Why? I think if anything, it's Rishus Rabbah.
Oh, you're right. So it's. I'm sorry. It's not. It's rather. Listen, Rabbi, for a minute. It's a halacha l'moshe Sinai. Look 5 lines up from the bottom end of the Rashis, and you'll see.
Look at Rashi's these days.
B'shus hayachid sveikai tamei.
I know, I was gonna say, we're gonna finish tonight.
Look.
We have to kill.
B'shus hayachid sveikai tamei. Look at the Rashi. Hachi gemir la hilchasa. This we learned halacha l'moshe Sinai misaita from saita. Hachi gemir hilchasa. We learned halacha. Excuse me, Hachi, excuse me, we learned halachas from Saita, this halacha. Kedamina Masechta Saita. So we learn from Masechta Saita, we learned the halachas regarding Tumah. So B'shus HaYachid Sveikai Tamei, B'shus HaRabim Sveikai Tahar. Kalar. Haidea Lifreis Kapov. If a katan knows how to say Birchas Kayanim, Lifreis Kapov means to spread his hands to do Birchas Kayanim.
Threshing.
Then at that point, cholkin like truma, you can already give him truma. The beis hagroinais. Beis hagroinais means the granary, but the point is you have to write on the side. This is a public place, meaning until a child is known to the rabbim, until everyone knows that he's able to duchen, which means he's already gotten a certain level of maturity. Then you can't give him anything publicly. You got to send it to him privately. So once a child, once a child is able to duchen, you're allowed to give him truma. He's a kohen. Sorry, lifreis. Let me be clear. Idea lifreis. If a kohen knows how to, if a kohen, one second. Idea lifreis. If a kohen knows how to duchen already, right? Lifreis kabav chalkan like truma. You can already give him truma, but beis hagroinais publicly in the granary. Klar.
What's the chiddush of publicly in the garden?
Oh, because if he hasn't established himself to be someone that's mature enough on a certain level, then it'll be a bizoyan to give him truma in barabim. Okay. Meaning you can give him privately. You can just, if he's, let's say he's able to watch Tara, but it's a bizoyan. The child is not able to duchen yet, and you're giving it him publicly. That'll be a big bizoyan.
You said that you're able to, the kid's able to eat it, even if it might touch his body when he's that's from.
Sure. So
That's Yachid?
amazing. So yes, so he can eat, but we have more salsa if anybody wants to have more. So it's a lifreis kapov cholkan like truma bebeis hagroinais. Once this child knows how to duchen. Once child knows how to duchen, we can already give him a truma publicly. It's not disgraceful to do that. Okay, let's
Why
move
before
along.
that is it disgraceful?
It's because he doesn't. It's not respectful for the rabbin and for the public if she hasn't reached a certain level of maturity yet to give it to him rabbin.
I don't get that. Why not? Cheers. What's disrespectful?
No, because eating truma is like I'm saying is a chashuv thing.
You just have to be a kind.
What? No, but what I'm saying, if he can't watch himself from taharis, they don't give it to him. Once he's able to watch himself from taharis, then you can really give it to him privately. But you want to give it to him publicly with all the other.
It's a design to the truma.
It's a design to that, yeah, or to the kehanim that you're giving it to someone who hasn't been able to.
It might be tummy.
I don't even no. It's you can now look if he knows how to watch himself, you can send it to him privately. But you don't give it to him publicly unless he's able to.
Is your taste not by a kid?
I don't know.
I mean, technically you can eat the truma, but in general, it's not mum and batsum because he can't do business.
I hear. I'm not sure. It's a good shine. So, okay, you ready? Bezayin trumasi. It's a bezayin to the truma.
So it's like bezayin to the truma because people don't know.
They think you're giving to this little kid
kid. Like, what's
Yes.
he doing? He doesn't know what to do with it.
There's
But
a-
if he's duchening, it's everybody.
then he's established himself that he's someone, he's mature enough, and he knows, and he's aware of these halachas. Hayadeh lishchait. If a child knows how to shecht, a katan knows how to shecht, oh, he means he just knows the action. He doesn't have to know halachas. He has to just know how to do the action. Oichlin mishchitasai. Rashi. Oichlin mishchitasai. Now, anybody here? Not a kain dafka. Hayadeh lishchait. If one knows how to shecht, oichlin mishchitasai, you can already eat from his slaughter. Rav Huna clarifies, that's only so long shagadol aymed al gabov, that a gadol is standing over him. Now, why is that? Because if the gadol is not standing at him, he's not trusted to say it was done right or wrong. A child doesn't have nemanis, so his action may have been a good action, but how can you believe him when he comes to say, "I shachted it well"? The cut in his action of slaughter may be a good action, but he doesn't have the manis. So he comes to you and he says, "I did it well." It could be he knew how to do the action. You're just not allowed to trust him. So there, lishchait oichlin mishchitasai. Amrav Huna v'hu shagadol aymed al gabov.
And is any carbon or only regular non-kegdish kebab?
And this is referring to This is referring to just a standard shchita, not karbanis. Yochel, period. Yochel lechel kazayis dagon. Once a child, all these halachas, this is what's brought down. Haideh, look at this, Rabbi Yisai. Yochel lechel kazayis dagon. Once a child, this is a baby. Once a baby gets a year old or whatever it is, and he's eating, we're going to call it oatmeal. That's mamish, the baby cereal. Look, says the Gemara. Yochel lechel kazayis dagon. Once he can eat a kazayis dagon, which means a certain amount of grain, any one of the 5 grains.
It's basically once the diapers start to smell.
There you go. Then, marchikin mitzayasai, you have to move away from his excrement, umemi raglov, and his urine, 4 ames. At that point, a regular diaper wouldn't be such an issue, a baby diaper. But once he's already eating, at that point, it's already very foul smelling, and you have to move away from him. 4 ames.
Davening, of course, in Krishma.
Right, exactly, yeah. Rav Chisda said, "Who? It's so long you can eat that grain b'chdei achilas pras in a specific amount of time." There's a shaila how long that is: 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 6 minutes.
Half a loaf of a regular.
Yeah, it's like a half a loaf of bread within a certain amount of time, because that's considered an achila. The one of these ragulach is already kazayis. But if you eat this ragula over the course of 12 minutes or 15 or 10 minutes, you're nibbling on it, that's not called an achila, and therefore you don't make a alamichi on it. Only if you eat it within about 2 to 6 minutes.
Regular eating, meaning not like a guy just fressing.
Huh?
So not just a guy fressing, it's the actual achila.
Yeah.
Like
So
I take one of the whole container down in like 3-4 minutes.
yeah. Then that's brachas hamazon already. That's already benching. But if you eat one ragula or you eat something, you have to have it within that amount of time. It's a common. This comes up every time you sit down and eat. The most common time it comes up is on a Shabbos Suda. Just going off on a tangent for a minute. If
Really stalling.
no. A Shabbos Suda, if a woman, the husband gives up a challah, a woman takes a drop of challah, eats the challah, goes in the kitchen to serve, and comes back and only nibbles throughout the rest of the Suda. Comes to benching, she benches. And she didn't have a kazayas within the amount of time that you need to bench, because she only nibbled on it. You have to have
initially.
Yes, well, no, it doesn't have to be. She doesn't need a drop. But at some point, you have to have a kazayis within 4 to 6 minutes.
The other food
2 to 6
doesn't count. The
minutes.
other food later doesn't count. It has to be the challah.
Yeah, at least you have to at least a kazayis of challah. It just happens to be a common shiloh that I've looked around at a lot of sudas, and I've discussed a lot of people, and people are not as aware of this. Sometimes, like the woman will grab something and then go serve, comes back and she forgot about a challah, and then she's benching the whole brichas hamazon and she ate a crumb. Says the Gemara.
That's on page 63. What are you talking about?
Amar Rav Chisda, you ready? Amar Rav Chisda, who yachol v'oichle b'chedechilas pras. Okay, Amar Rav Chia b'reid Rav Yeba. You ready? B'reid Rav Yeba. Ubegadol, when it comes to a person, an older person, af al pi she'ene yachol lechol b'chedechilas pras. Even if he can't, you ready for this? Even though even if he doesn't consume it in this amount of time. You got it? ubegadol, and with an adult, afalpi, even though she'eni yachal lechal b'chadei pas, even if he cannot consume it in this amount of time, then you have to move away from his waist. Gadol is not able to eat it.
Nursing home, so they like consider like babies.
You have the shaila.
You have to lock your office door and eat. Or
Yeah.
make a bracha.
You ever change one of your kids' diapers? How's it smell?
Yachal.
All kinds of the units. Maybe your
It's
Yeah,
yachal.
it's fine, Shaka.
You ready? Yachal lechal kazai soli.
They smell like Armani in most things.
You ready?
You're not allowed to use scent sprays and stuff in there.
You ready?
What's the pus?
To eliminate.
Yeah, the pasuk. That's it.
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Dechsev. You ready, Chavra? Let's hold on a minute. Dechsev. Yosef das. Increase of wisdom. Yosef machayiv. Yeah, machayiv means increased pain. Here we mean increased waste. The older person is, the more foul smelling his waist is. That's really how the pasuk is being interpreted. Yosef das. The more wisdom. Yosef machayiv. The more waste. It really means that, it also means that the more older person is, the more he cracks. Yosef machayiv, more pains, more aches he
I
has.
crack more than most people.
Yachal lechal. Everybody say, let's finish up here. Yachal lechal kazayis sali. Once again, you already eat a kazayis of roasted meat. Sheichten alav es pesach. He can be included for the Korban Pesach. When you shech the Korban Pesach, Chaimel.
Yeah.
When you
You have
shech
to
the
make a group, yeah.
when you make this, when you make
No.
Text them off.
Ellie, we need you on top of things here.
Mayor's the phone.
First,
the phone
first he has to
has
show up every night. Then he can start
Yachal
talking.
lechal kazayis sali. You ready?
Delicious.
Once.
Small cookie.
1 second. Yachal lechal kazayis sali. Once you can already eat a kazayis of roasted meat, sheichten alav es pesach. You can already shech for him the Korban Pesach. The Korban Pesach, you have to be. What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out ways.
Yeah, the Korban Pesach, you have to be counted beforehand before the shech if you want to eat from that carbon. You can't just come. Okay, can I have some of the Korban Pesach? You have to already be counted towards that carbon. Well, oh, you have to be. Oh, so that's a pashut. Kol dichven. You're right, but for the Korban Pesach, you have to be included in the count beforehand. So if the child already knows that eat a kazayis, then he's allowed to. As a pasuk says, ish lefi achloi. The person amount he can eat, which means as long as he's able to do an achila, he can already do an achila, then he's already included.
Stop here.
Lefi achloi. You ready, Chavra? Rabbi Yehuda says.
Stand up.
Rabbi Yehuda Aimer, sheyachol ad until he argues ad sheyachol until he's able levarer to discern or distinguish achila, like differentiate here. Achila, ketzad. We'll see what that means. He can. Let's see. Look at this. Nice and light shirar. You give him a pebble, v'zarka, and he throws it away. Egois, but you give him a nut, v'noitla, and he takes it. So only this child he can be included in the Korban Pesach.
What about
It's
rock
talking about adult
candy?
or is it talking about a child?
So I am the Tosis, the last one on the Amid.
Hydro.
Hadron Allah, Lulav Agazel. Just in time, Chevra.
Starting the fourth parak tomorrow.
Tomorrow only see him.
Perfect. No, see him yet.
So tomorrow we're having a mini.
Pool's not ready. The pool's not
Skip
ready.
it. Skip it.
Yeah. Yes. Tomorrow.